Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Doom, 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 doom. We're here. Pontiac is here. I'm here. Pontiac is here. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? All right, here we are again on the positive Father's Hour, positive Dad Hour, positive Protector Hour. We come again to bring the good tides and the good moves. Just like music, I try to move and remove. That's what a healer is. A healer can move and remove. There we go. There we go, Lobo. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And so come here. And I was reflecting, like in the next what were we, March, April, May, like 60 days, less than 60 days is all I have left to take my daughter back and forth to school. Because of course, junior high, you're bust. I mean, she doesn't live near the junior high. I mean, it's not far, but she doesn't live near it, where she's going to be bust from here on. And so I was just, wow. And I've loved doing this since taking my oldest son to kindergarten back in 94, 95, somewhere in there. I always loved this. I always loved this. Picking them up. It's just something I've always cherished as just a father. Hey, what's up, Derek? That's right. Holler at everybody. Holler if you hear me. Man, it is cold. Had to take that lamb off. That lamb it's not very thick. But it's cold up here. Might snow and ice Friday. And I was supposed to go possibly snowboarding. Yeah, I was gonna give it a try, but they're talking about another storm like we had last weekend. More ice. That ice gets tough on the roads. That black ice, you can't really see, you can't really respond. And even with the best tires, I mean, it's still, that stuff is just, it's really, you really got to work with the troll under the bridge to avoid and maintain and stay grounded. I mean, that is the key. Is you have to you have to stay grounded during that time. And you can see the people, just the energy. And some of these people think, because you got these trucks, they're invincible, and that ain't the case. These trucks ain't invincible at all. So. It's 62 degrees in Tennessee right now. Shit, that's warm. Hey, when you watch Snowfall, I seen the Baphomet in that Scully scene. Yeah. They even threw the little voodoo in it. Because really, him hatching people with the sword, that's how the Haitian beat the European. But instead of them showing the hacking of the European with the sword, they showed you Rwanda. They showed you Rwanda. Because what the key to Rwanda is that the people didn't have guns, and somebody imported 200,000 machetes and hatchets in the country. I mean, this is that crime thing on ESPN or excuse me, in Netflix showed that a guy imported almost 500,000 hatchets, machetes, and that was able to kill almost 1 million people. And so I saw that aspect too. Instead of using the hatchet as the Haitians did to attack the European, he was using it against his own people. But yeah, I caught that too. Like that scene where he goes into Voudin shop, I'm surprised they showed that. It was another, man, I was watching something where they had a sigil on the door. And I was quiet. I was like, it caught me by surprise. I was like, whoa, okay. But yeah, the Snowfall thing again, I like that they keep saying CIA. And they are so bold. The CIA still operates. I mean, they've showed you the CIA working criminally. They showed the military with Oliver North and the president working criminally. And nothing was really done about it. I mean, the aggrieved, hurt people, LA. I don't know if you guys remember when the CIA director went to LA and apologized. I don't know if y'all remember that, because Gary Webb came out and told that shit, and people was up in arms, about to riot. And so the CIA went to maybe the LA count or what is that, Orange County meeting, and they gave it to the CIA director about how this is purposely and targeted, and you guys backed this. And he resigned the next day. So Gary Webb was on point. You see, they murdered Gary Webb, suicide, and you shoot yourself back of the head twice. Really? Boom, boom? No, it don't work like that. So yeah. I mean, but again, it's that same thing. It's the same mafia kind of thing. You know, if you really look at what they're trying to do, it's, you know, we sell dope and then we go legitimate. We saw that in The Godfather, you know, with him putting his people in the Senate, and the push of the Kennedy family going from the bootlegger to having the son president. You know, first a senator and then president. And you know, it's illegal what he did when he brought in Bobby to be his attorney general. You can't do that anymore. You can't put one of your family members, but he had to be confirmed by the Senate. Remember that. Bobby still had to be confirmed to be in the cabinet. I think they still have to be confirmed now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong there. But yeah, so that's the interesting thing. And again, you know, the Saint dude and his girlfriend, both African people, representing us, pretending to be us, pretending to be our culture. I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. And they keep the cigarettes. You know, they keep the cigarettes. That's what Sex and the City was really one of the last shows to really show cigarettes. And now it's almost like, you know, the cigarette companies are paying them and it's allowed again. Because Sex and the City, people old enough, Miami Vice, Sonny used to smoke cigarettes the first season. And then people complained. But you're starting to see it again. You know, you're starting to see it again. FX especially. Sci-Fi Channel FX, you know, you're starting to see that again, where the cigarettes are agreeable, where you're watching people, even anime, you watch people smoke the cigarettes. Hey, Nicole B, what's happening? So, but you know, it shows the again, you know, everybody wants to be Caesar and wants to undermine Caesar. And you saw that. And where this time they sided with Caesar. You know, they didn't trust the one that wanted to be undermined, especially talking about he couldn't do it himself. You know, if that was his plan, all that time he was with Dude when Dude was unstable, he really could have blasted him any time. You know, so it just really showed his weakness and his plan. No, I can't kill the king because I just ain't got the guts for it. But here you see in this motherfucker being crazier and crazier, which, again, what he had happen to him was a tragedy, you know, definitely. But a tragedy that he put in motion too. He wasn't innocent. See, he looks at it like he was innocent in his daughter being in that position. And we know he wasn't innocent of that. So that's the thing you have to consider. And I always considered that. I knew the way when I moved around, you know, that I had to, if I was with my family, I was vulnerable. I knew that. And so I always moved around completely aware. I mean, parties and stuff, as I say, I probably got drunk at a party and drove away one time. That was it. One time in my life. I never, other than that, and that was 98, 99. Yeah, maybe 98. Just never tried to be that unaware. You know, never sloppy drunk anywhere, especially out. Now, yeah, I went to the Super Bowl, or not the Super Bowl, but the Vikings game when my son got a little buzzed. But other than that, you know, I try to maintain. They said KD coming back tonight. PJ and Derek both said he coming back. Yeah, that's what I read last night. We'll see. We'll see how effective he's going to be. As I said, you know, I talked a little bit about Harding last night. I'm not really impressed. It was one shot. If you remember in the beginning of the game, Harding shot a floater. The floater clearly missed. It was the beginning of the game. Harding came down and just like he half shot. It was a bad shot. You know, he was all off balance and he clearly missed it. And you saw that back up because you saw that and then they lifted it back up slightly above the hoop and it went in. One of his first shots, if anybody remembers that. And it's so many that I really get tired of doing the work because it's just so much. They don't care. They know you see it and they don't care. They don't care because they know that people are so brainwashed they're going to believe their product instead of we pointing out what's wrong with them or the mistakes of the system. And that's the thing. Hey, PJ, you still out? You still down there in Mardi Gras? Brother PJ gets to travel and see it and move. I should have tried to see if you knew Cheeto Paul, because that brother's down there. He's a Choctaw, I believe, down there. No, Yamasi. He's Yamasi down there. Yamasi brother that's down in that area. I think he walked through or whatever. But a good brother, knows his family history. part of the tribe down there. You know, the Yamasi they have land in South Carolina. They have a reservation in South Carolina. Nothing but a unique breed. You're amazed how many people on TikTok have never even heard of magnets in rims or at all. No, I'm not amazed. People ain't aware. Now we back home now. Now we back home now. Okay. Hey, Mr. Lamborghini Leglock, what's happening? Yeah. Same way on Facebook. Well, Facebook has seen my work, but and I guess that's where some of my work is shared the most. Read it in Facebook, but yeah, it's people can't understand it. People don't understand that. See, it's almost like if sports is fixed, then the government is fixed. You know, it's almost like politics are fixed. It's almost that. It really is almost that. And so that's why people don't understand it, and that's why people don't try to understand it, and they look at it out of hand. You know, I'm not a conspiracy anything, you know, that's spelled that the CIA created. And I laugh at motherfuckers call themselves that, you know. Now, I ain't a truther person. I mean, there's thing, and I've said this, and Lucid Living copied it. You know, awareness, you know, making an awareness community or people that want to be present and people want to learn how to be more present. Community. But then again, you know, that could go with it being grounded, you know, how you raise yourself higher. So it ain't really one box that you can really say, or one box you even want to put yourself in. You want it all. You want it all. And I guess that would go to the spell Bomber puts out there when you say whole. You know, you do want the whole thing. You know, it's like the fool. The fool goes out with a full bag. You don't know what's in his bag, but he goes out with his bag. You know, like James Brown said, Papa got a brand new bag. That ain't my bag, baby. No, baby, that ain't my bag. Shit, it's cold in a motherfucker outside, Jack. That hawk is a motherfucker. Motherfucker be like, who's Jack? Dudes used to say that in the 60s. What's happening, Jack? Oh man, that motherfucker is on some bullshit, Jack. I'm glad y'all made it home safe though, man. Right on. So today is Purple Day. Yeah, today is Purple Day. It is definitely Purple Day. According to last night's stream, it is, and there's no purple in this Vikings hat. I was looking all around, but it matched more, and I didn't want to wear the same hat I wore last night. I have purple underwear on. But yeah, it definitely is, and even a little ribbon, a little crayon, anything that you can, you know, move with purple, there's some benefit. There's definitely some benefit. But I guess the subject going to Dad's, the subject that I want to get out today is, oh yeah, oh anytime, man. Damn, I had a cousin named Jack that rocked a Jerry curl. If Ben Stidham starts hitting jumpers and people start thinking it's real, it'll be sad today. It will be. It will be. It will be. It's the same way as Giannis. I mean, as I said before, and I broke down, Giannis can never naturally be a good three-point shooter. He has that hitch. Even in his free throw, he has a hitch that he'll never get away from. Just like Charles Barkley. You know, Barkley's got that hitch in his golf swing, ain't gonna really never get past that. It's gonna always be there. It's a mental thing. And it's the same thing with Simmons. But Simmons is going to help him defend. He's going to help rebound. I mean, that's what people forget about Magic, what made Magic so effective. On defense, you got a 6'9" dude that can guard. I mean, they wasn't really blowing by Magic like that. Magic could guard a 2 or a 3. That's why they could have Cooper play small forward. And then Cooper would come in and guard the 2. And I don't know, dudes be dog, like the California brothers be dogging Worthy. And I don't really get that. Like Worthy was really a continuation of Dr. J, well, Connie Hawkins, Dr. J. I mean, he was a continuation of that. Mark Aguirre. I mean, those are two dudes that still would have known about Connie Hawkins just because of his age. And they forget how he was a Boston killer too. But people just don't, I don't know. I think he only won the 2 titles. and he won a title in college. So I don't know why they don't like that. Hey, the MacBone. Hey, brother Edward, what's happening? Oh, okay, but I guess I'll get it because the girls will be, well, I got a little time. So I guess today the energy I wanted to say is like how many people, and I think Truth Teller hit on this, and he was right when he was showing himself and his daughter go to a fair. Fun. I mean, really for men, like, do you have fun in your life? Because I watched men that never had fun. They just worked hard and they really never had fun. And if smoking a cigarette or smoking a joint, drinking a beer is fun, I mean, I watched dudes that was it. That was it. If you said they did anything for fun, it'd be drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette, smoking a cigar, smoking a joint. I mean, that was their fun. I mean, I knew dudes like that. It was like they didn't really have any other fun in their life. It's like dudes were so serious that was not athletes, but the hard workers, like they wouldn't even throw a ball or play catch. It's like they never even bullshitted around. It was just always serious, always tight. And I knew cats like that. And I accepted the cats for who they were. You know, like it'd be cats just sit down and watch us hoop, but would hang with us. But it was just, he didn't have fun like that. Like even watching us hoop, he wouldn't have no fun. His thing was maybe he'll smoke a joint with some people, but they wouldn't even bullshit, you know? And bullshitting is having fun, you know? Bullshitting with people is just joking around. That's all. You know, they call bullshitting cap now, but it was bullshitting, you know? Or that's bullshit. It means cap and bullshit means the same thing. Just another way of looking at it. Oh, you on that bullshit. Same thing. What's the color for tomorrow? I don't know I don't know off the top of my head. You have to check me out at midnight at Chocolate Mountain Show. Is Westbrook going to wear another dress for Lakers to make the playoffs? Hell no. What's the color for tomorrow? I don't know. You have to check me out tonight. I really don't know. It's like I think right now I've went through the full book, and now so I'm kind of understanding how to do the readings and such, because it's a lot of things I work for. The Totec is very similar, so kind of learning all that and setting up the thing to. I'm starting really doing readings. It's interesting, you know, talking to the Awakened one, and she just. I'm sure she won't mind me sharing the story, but it's like I've always been leery of Reiki. I've always been leery of that because the first dude to send me some of that shit, it was like a way to really, really hypnotize you. It really was. It was like, well, do these circles over and over again. And as I did a couple, I'm like, wait a minute, this is conditioning. This is conditioning. I'm like, fuck that shit. And it just made me not trust that, because if I got to do all this conditioning to bring it in, and a lot of it was port opening, like opening your own ports. That's what a lot of it really was. And not to say that all of them is like that, but just looking at that practice, it made me feel sour about it. It really did. It made me feel sour about it. If I got to do all that for you to help me with my chakras, you know, that's some bullshit. That's cap. Yeah, you got to make fun for the children. My baby girl's 9 and she's energetic, so I try to keep up as much as possible. Oh, my daughter is too, you know. And we went away from me body slamming her, picking her up. You know, she just got to that point. She's turned to a young lady. So that kind of ends. I mean, the same thing went with my boys. Well, you could tackle your boys. I can still tackle my sons. I can still tackle them all. But, you know, but yeah, my daughter too. She want to shoot baskets or, I mean, whatever. You know, we used to go bike riding. So I think she's going to get her uncle is he manages a bike shop. So I think he's building her one. She tried out one down there. And he said it would last her till she got taller. Because right now she's only about 5 foot 5'1", and her mom's about 5'7", 5'8". So her aunt is 6 foot. So she's leggy enough where she'll probably be late, you know, get a nice little height. Now, and I've said before, I've seen my daughter as a woman. Hey Barbara, what's happening? Thank you for joining me. Biden State of the Union was all cap. Oh, exactly. You ain't say nothing about the border and all them people they trying to turn into Europeans. That's what that move is to bring all the European looking people out of the Mexico, South America, and integrate them with the European people here to get the numbers. Because without that, they're not going to have the numbers. I think it's a lie, you know, the numbers they've always put out there, that it was much more of them in this country, and that all the native people died out because of sickness. That's always been the lie they told. The numbers don't really state that. what they were able to do better, and especially in the lynching and the murdering, they were able to organize better to do that. And really, our people, the way they sold the farms in the South, they really wanted the plots of land isolated. They didn't really want everybody to have a plots of land together, so the tenant farmer really could get together in numbers. They purposely did this to people, so they couldn't gather in numbers. Because again, if you statistically place your land a certain place, and a lot of these places where they come to lynch and stuff, you got to went right back in the woods, which was easy to ambush. Very easy to ambush. And so say you've got 30 people, 5 or 6 people can ambush 30 people, especially since there was repeating rifles like a Henry or a Winchester. Like if you look at the murders they did in Wilmington, if you look at what the European, the red legs did, or the red pants, excuse me, they all had repeating Winchesters and Henrys. I don't know if people realize, but there were people in the Civil War that had repeating rifles. And I don't know if a lot of people realize that. A lot of the cavalry carried repeating rifles, and it was a hell of an advantage to, boom. No, you have to tear the paper, pour in the powder, put the ball in, put the shit down, put the shit back in, put it on the shoulder, cock it, and then shoot at the motherfucker. And you could do it within a minute. You could do it. That's why, they kept the bayonets on there too, so you could steal the rust. Stacey Ray. And I know that all gets back away from fun, but yeah, can you loosen up? And that's the thing is, can you loosen up around people without, artificially needing something? And bud, I would say, but alcohol. Because some people, they drink and they get loose. And to me, that's artificial. Whereas people that get buzzed, we are able to always kind of get in that mode. We can be silly without having to use something artificial to be silly with. Oh, I guess it is purple. There's purple in this fire agate. Okay, right on. So I do have a little purple with me. And just being, when you can have fun, you put, or even being funny, even being funny. Does your daughter play pickleball? She's going to play this year. She's like, no, I'm not. She's going to play this year. It'll help her footwork. It'll help quick hands. So that's how I started playing, was with her. But she would just bash the ball, so I chased it because we was playing on the converted tennis courts, and it's just open space. They're probably playing today. It ain't really windy. It's just cold, the motherfucker. I think my bag is in here too. Yeah, my gloves. I think my bag is in the back. I just got to change. I got shoes in the car too. They might be playing outdoors today. I probably could start playing indoors too. I bought a bench to start lifting. Like, that's why I'm getting therapy and everything now. So when May hits, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna play pickleball at least 6 hours a day. 6 hours a day of pickleball. I'm gonna try to play 3 hours in the morning. I'm gonna try to play 3 hours at night. Maybe get some bike riding, lifting on some days, and yeah, dominate this shit. I've got the skills to dominate this shit. I see that, especially for my age group. And maybe get a sponsor, have your name on here and shit. wear the hats. Because it's pro pickleball leagues. It's pro pickleball leagues. And now should I compete against 20-year-olds? No, yeah, no, that's just not fair. They are younger, more agile. That's just a fact. But for the next 10 years, I'm gonna be able to compete against people my age. It was a Hmong dude. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure this dude was Hmong, and he said he was 70. He wanted to coach everybody. One of the motherfuckers you want to knock out and shit. Hope your YouTube grow because of it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show more and more of it, just to get people to know that this is an exercise that anybody can do. I want to get her mother to do it, get her a little more active. But it's something just to keep you active. And if you're competitive, more the more, but just to keep you active. I get in miles. It was some days I was getting in 4 or 5 miles of activity. So, and I got to get a Apple Watch to monitor the activity a little better, and instead of having to fucking had a phone in my pants, a little extra weight. Oh, let me put this motherfucker down. But yeah, these teachers catching it today. That hawk is out there. By the time this teacher looking at the numbers, he come back, his face gonna be red. It's cold in the motherfucker out there. Shit, we still running heat. The heating bills is higher than a bitch, and I only use electric heat. But this shit is high in the motherfucker. It's high almost like I'm using air. So that's all to Biden. I didn't go to the casino. I paid $360 something in gas. Saw something. Okay, Jay. Your vengeance, okay. Hope you ain't trolling. That drunken is garbage. Yep, it is. That's one of the freshest Viking hats I've seen. Yeah, these I've got the purple one and this one, and these are one of the best designs they've made in years. I mean, this design is one of the better designs, and it don't necessarily just mean Viking, because a lot of people use different, the horn. But yeah, this design is one of the tighter designs. I agree. When I wore it to the Vikings game, no one had no one had a hat like this, because the store I bought it from there, they only had a couple. So yeah, I do it. But thank you. I do love this design. Well, you don't move more out west, get away from that cold. Well, I've always thought about going back to Greensboro. I mean, where we just went in Arkansas don't really get cold. I would move more southeast than I would move more west. Because at Arkansas should be in the summertime the same as here. I couldn't play pickleball, when I'm in Arkansas, or excuse me, I'm in Arizona. You can't really play pickleball; it'd be too fucking hot. You got to play indoors. So, I mean, it was even times in North Carolina. Like I said, I went on vacation one time and I was playing semi-pro ball, and I mean, really playing well. And we was gonna be gone for like 10, 11 days. And down there, I really didn't have to connect to play ball. And so some days I just wanted to work out. And it was like, shit, 3, 4 o'clock, still 110, 115. And luckily I got with her brother. He took me to Raleigh, and I started playing in the gym with the cats, the college dudes and the locals from Raleigh. But I just remember, trying to just go shoot at a little hoop. Yeah, there was no playing, but I forget how hot North Carolina gets. North Carolina gets hot. my freshman year of playing football in camp, I can just remember there being the first couple of nights, I am sore than a motherfucker. It's like muscles hurt that I had never even known I had, and there's no breeze or no nothing. I'm just laying in a pool of sweat. And I begged my father to send me a fan. I'm like, no, don't send the money, send the fan. And I just had a little box fan. It seemed like air conditioning compared to that just hot steel shit. And then I remember, people prayed on the freshmen, not really knowing the rules. And a lot of us left our windows open. I remember we got robbed, and somebody stole about 14 joints of mine because where I put it. But the rest of it was hidden. And it was like you could check everywhere in these rooms, but I hid my big, my lids. I had hid them, but they took my joints because I had put all my joints in AC Doocy board, backgammon board. Arizona, you play at night year round. There you go. Okay, that's a good point. 81 in NC right now. Okay. That's funny. Go against her. That's Elemental Series design. I got a Dolphins hat in the Buccaneers version. Okay, bet. You see, they just Lids just came out with all the black stuff, the black basketball team stuff. You play at night. That's a good point. See where OG is at. Okay. Okay, yeah, because Lids just came out showing all the teams. Like the 2 shirts I got the New York Cubans. And they didn't come out with the new hats for the New York Cubans. They didn't come out with the new hat of that, which I was like, I thought they would have. Because really, the Negro leagues is somewhat that we should support. The old Negro basketball leagues, like the Wrens and shit like that. That's why I was always would get ABA gear too. I got a Connie Hawkins jersey. I bought it to frame it because it's way too big, but I need to get a smaller one to wear around. Because even with a hoodie on, it's like 4X, maybe 5X even. It was really just to put it in the frame, but that's my guy. But, you know, but you can't find the Bad News Barnes one anymore. You can't get the St. Louis Spirit where it had Bad News Barnes or just Bad News. You can't get that jersey. At one time, Bad News Barnes was where the shit, it just said Bad News. You can't, it just say Barnes. You get the ones now. But at one point, you could get the one that just said Bad News. And that was the sweet one. Most of the people remember Moses Malone St. Louis Spirit jersey. That was probably the most popular. But Bad News Barnes, and again, Bad News Barnes from Providence, 24. And they say he had took a motherfucking hammer to a dude and beat the case. They said he had something like, and a lot of this may be some cap, but they said he had like 10 car phones in his car, in his Rolls Royce back in the 70s. And then he got caught for, you know, he was the coke man of the NBA. Relaxing to watch them. There you go. I have to check that out. I had the Hawkins Sons Mitchell and Ness jersey. Oh, yes. That one's nice too. Again, 42. And yeah, he was stuck with 42. He probably, if he'd have played at Iowa before they illegally kidnapped him and took him back to New York, probably would have worn 42 at Iowa, because Connie Hawkins was going to go to Iowa with Don Nelson, you know, to hit the first manipulated shot. You know, the ex-coach, the ex-Celtic. Connie Hawkins was out there with Don Nelson. My godfather was out there. Victor Davis got a scholarship to play football at Iowa back then, because Connie Hawkins graduated in '61, and so did my dad. My dad told the story that he was out there. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't out there. My godfather was all state. My father wasn't even all city. I don't think they had all city where he lived. I took the handicap shit out. Where are these girls at? I can't talk shit. I went to college, played on a college scholarship, and I wasn't even all city college or all city high school. My junior year, I led the city in catches per yard. It was like every catch I caught was like over 15 yards, 15 yard plus. So I led that category, but both years I wasn't all city. Oh, here they come. There she goes, Water Joe.
Did Keelan just sit here?
No.
Who did?
Oh, seats back.
You think?
Well, guys, here's the purpose of the day. You know, you want a little more of this funk, come back during tonight, the Chocolate Mountain Show, midnight Central. And as I end, till we meet again, what do you say, girls?
Bye.
Say less.
Bye. Say less means stop talking.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It means goodbye.
Say less.
And cool talk, it means goodbye. So that means you're not cool. You're not cool. That's why you don't say it, because you're not cool.
Never said
Two not cools. Two not cools. Two not cools. Two not cools. You guys aren't cool. I'm trying to help you guys be cool. Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. Touch the sheepskin. What's wrong with you? I will choke a little girl. You know I will choke you. You're not grabbing on me, so